Hello and welcome to Navigating the Future of Trucking and Transportation with me, your host, Jerri Banks. On this show, we talk about automation and autonomy and new technology entering into the trucking and transportation industry. I share traditional truck driving jobs, traditional as in the jobs that we have historically seen in the trucking and transportation industry. I also talk about and share jobs in the autonomous sector. These are jobs where you can take your current skills and combine them with new skills that you learn, and you become a game changer for someone's company. We talk about diesel technology. We just had a gentleman, Marshall Kaplan, the director of Select Technical Institute, on yesterday, and he introduced us to the possibilities of becoming a diesel technician. Now, you may not be in his city. However, in your city, there is an opportunity for you to learn about becoming a diesel technician. So I encourage you to seek out that information, see what requirements are needed so that you can learn this new skill and elevate yourself. And then lastly, on the learning lane, I share actionable tips that you can use right now to help you reskill and upskill for the new future that the transportation industry is moving to. So if you're new here, welcome. Make sure you are connected with me across all of my social media platforms. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure that you are always turning on that notification bell so that you can get notified every time I go live. When we come back, today's show is going to be focused on the car, the self driving car. So, when we come back, we're going to be talking about a couple of companies, Waymo and Motional. We'll be right back. I'm Jerri Banks. Our agency focuses on driver recruitment and driver education. We focus on helping drivers and preparing them for the future of trucking and transportation as autonomous vehicles and automation enters the industry. Our goal is to ensure that you are equipped with the skills that you need to be successful in this new way of life. So make sure you connect with me across all of my platforms, Jerri Banks, Autonomous Trucking. I look forward to connecting with you. Welcome, welcome. Hey, thank you so much. Welcome back. Look, I'm going right into it. Right into it. I have an article that I'd like to share with you. As you know, we typically talk about autonomy from the trucking perspective. Today, we're going to talk about driverless cars. And this article is brought to us by CNET and your guide to a better future. CNET is it's a place that we typically go to learn more about and gather information so that we can share it with you so that you know as well. Now, Waymo just opened up their driverless rides to anyone in San Francisco. No wait list needed. And in just a few minutes, I'm going to share with you my opportunity that I got to ride in a Waymo self-driving vehicle. Now, it was a great opportunity for me. It was actually in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'll share that video clip with you here shortly. But so Waymo is opening up their driverless experience to anyone in the San Francisco area. Anyone in the San Francisco area. You're able to download the app and no wait list is needed. So apparently there was a wait list in the past, but now you're able to just download the app and start booking. Now, this car here, this is the Waymo car. And again, you don't have to get on the waiting list if you want to. You're in San Francisco, and they actually operate in not just San Francisco. I talked about Phoenix, Arizona. They operate in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Phoenix, Austin, and also in. I know they've been in talks with Atlanta as well. But this car is a ride hailing. And again, Waymo's a ride hailing app, just like Uber. You're going to, just like you say Uber as an action verb, I'm going to Uber to the store. I'm going to catch an Uber from the hotel and go to the meeting. Just like you say Uber and use it as an action verb, we at some point, will be saying and using Waymo as an action verb. I'm going to Waymo. I'm going to have Waymo take me. I'm going to get a Waymo. And use it as an action verb, just like we use Google as an action verb. Go Google this, go Google that. We use it as an action verb. But now Waymo. So Waymo is a ride hailing app, and there's no one driving the car. There's absolutely no one driving the car. I need to when I was in Phoenix, Arizona, and I hopped in a Waymo car. I was actually there and we were downtown near where the Phoenix Suns play. And I was there on business, and I saw all of these cars here zooming back and forth. And I mean, not speeding or anything like that, but just zooming. Like, they were everywhere, is what I'm trying to say. They were everywhere. Like, every corner I would see one, and I already knew that they were there, and because I'm in this field, so I have to know what's going on. And the team and I, we were downtown. We were going to eat, going to the grocery store first, and then going to eat. And so I said, hey, let's take the Waymo. Let's take the Waymo. And it was maybe like a 5 to 6 minute ride, but it was a phenomenal experience. So let me tell you a little bit about the car. So it is a Jaguar I-Pace. And I'm going to show you my video here in just a second of me driving in a self-driving car. My production team, make sure you guys get that video ready, because I'll share that here in just a second. But it's a Jaguar I-Pace vehicle. And you download the app, just like you download the app on your phone for Uber or Uber Eats or Lyft. It's an app. And when the car pulls up, it's going to pull up on the most feasible and safe side of the road for them. So it didn't pull up, like I was on a corner and it knew exactly where I was. I was on a corner, but it didn't pull up right to me at that corner. I had to cross over. That was the safest area for them to park and for me to get to. And so I pulled up, it pulled up. I could not get in. And so, of course, I'm walking around and I'm looking at the car and, just checking it out, because it's a nice ride. And so I could not get in until I clicked the link. There was a link in my app and it said, hey, Jerri, your car's here. I'm right here. And it, kind of showed me where it was. And then there was a link that I could click to unlock the door. Like, the door is already locked. And then once I got in, it kind of just gave me an overview of the experience and what to expect. It made sure that I put on my seatbelt. That was so important. It wanted me to make sure that I put on my seatbelt. And it said, just like in any other, in any other ride, in any other car, make sure that you put on your seatbelt. And I got the opportunity to get that experience. I was able to select my music in the back, and it was really cool. It was really cool. It was different. Um, it was very different. And so I want to share my video, but I also see another video here on the Waymo ride and the Waymo experience. I'm going to see if I can make that. Oh, yeah, I can make that big. Let me share that for you. But this is a lady who took a ride in a Waymo car. This is different. This is not like my parents' experience, my grandparents' experience. This is a new world that we're moving into. And so I encourage you that if you don't know anything about um, Waymo, look it up. Look it up. It may be in your city. It may be coming to a city near you. Let me share this video of this young lady and her.
fully autonomous ride-hailing service in San Francisco. Fully autonomous Waymo car and test out a new feature called Safe Exit, which just makes sure that my surroundings are clear before I get out of the car. Let's check it out. Waymo, which is owned by Google parent Alphabet, has been testing its fully autonomous ride-hailing service in San Francisco, Phoenix, and Los Angeles. Seeing these cars driving around and riding in them feels incredibly futuristic and weird. I've never been in an autonomous car before, and I'm terrified and excited at the same time. Let's see how this goes.
Heading to Fort Mason Center for Arts and Culture.
Okay, the coolest thing is watching the steering wheel just turn on its own. It feels the same. It feels like you're riding in a normal car with a person in the seat, and then you look over and there's nobody there. What's so cool is we're at this intersection right now, and there was a car that it was their turn to go, but they didn't go. They kind of stalled, and the car stopped. It really does feel like there's somebody in the seat, in the driver's seat, just looking around to make sure that everyone's doing what they need to be doing. So we can see on the screen, it'll show where we're navigating and our arrival time, 10 minutes. If you need support, you can call for support. You can ask the car to pull over. You can also push a button for that. Play music, just kick back and relax and take in the weirdness of it all. Rider safety is a huge priority for Waymo, and part of that involves making sure your surroundings are clear when you're getting out of the car. This new safe exit feature, what it does is when the car stops and I'm at my destination and I'm about to get out, it uses the same sensors that it uses to navigate the street to make sure that there's nobody around me.
Cyclist approaching.
So really the focus here is to make sure that you feel safe inside the car, and then people outside the car feel safe that you're not just gonna hit them. There's no driver to tell me, hey, watch out, there's a biker behind you. Safe Exit uses a combination of LiDAR, radar, and cameras to constantly monitor the car's surroundings and detect what's coming.
Our software stack also ensures that we were able to understand what is oncoming, and accordingly we can inform or alert our riders very far in advance if you compare this with conventional safe exit features.
So there's two parts to the safe exit feature. One of them is on this screen, I'm going to see that there's a biker approaching or a scooter approaching or a pedestrian. It'll also ding so I can hear it. And then on the outside, there's also at the top of the car, there's this screen that kind of shows that somebody is getting out of the car to give people a heads up as they approach the car to make sure that they're safe too.
That's pretty cool. So I think that my experience with Waymo, it was very much like hers. I was able to, tab through on the buttons at the bottom. It was an experience just like being in a regular car. But nobody was sitting in the front seat. Nobody was sitting in the front seat. So let me share my experience in the Waymo car.
Would you ever ride in a self-driving car? I did, and it was exciting. It was a Waymo Jaguar, and it was very similar to setting up an Uber. The biggest thing I can say about this car is its safety. It wouldn't leave until I was buckled up. And then on the screen, I got to see cars that were next to us, on the side of us, and in front of us. This was exciting. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments.
Yes, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share and drop them in the comments. This is my second video in the Waymo car.
What better way to see the future than to experience it yourself? On a recent business trip to Phoenix, Arizona, I got to see the Waymo self-driving car firsthand. It was so prevalent on the streets of downtown Phoenix that I saw one on nearly every corner. This is the I-Pace Jaguar. It's sleek, clean, and eco-friendly. So of course I had to try one out myself. I could only unlock the door through the app. It required that I buckle up, just like in any other car. The experience was like none other. I could pick my music on the screen, the vehicles that were in front of us and on the side of us and behind us. Most importantly, I felt safe. The car was extremely cautious, watching for pedestrians, stopping at red lights, going when it needed to go. And at one point, another car even swerved in our lane. The car did exactly what I would have done as a driver. Waymo is currently in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Phoenix, and Austin, Texas. I can't wait till it comes to my city. I'd like to hear from you. Are you ready for the Waymo experience?
Are you ready for the Waymo experience? Drop it in the comments. Let me know. Make sure You're sharing your experiences if you've already ridden in a Waymo car, and if you haven't, and tell me whether or not you would take on this journey to get into a Waymo car. But it's new, it's different, it is the future. It is definitely the future. And so I share this information from the standpoint, of course, of the experience, but also to let you see how things are changing in the trucking and transportation industry. Now, this is a personal car, but there's also semi trucks that are automated. There's also semi trucks that are advanced, and we're seeing them more and more on our roadways. If the semi truck and the cars, the automation, the artificial intelligence, if they're able to do things better, faster, smarter, safer, then it's important for you as a worker in the transportation industry to be able to complement those things. And so that's why I share practical tips, actionable tools that you can go ahead and put in your toolbox to use when it comes to communication, when it comes to elevating yourself, when it comes to working as a team, problem solving, and troubleshooting. Um, these are all skills that you're going to need to hone in on and build up as we see more and more of these types of integrations and new technologies entering into the industry. Now, the next thing that I want to share with you, and I've shared it before on the show, but I really think it's important that you see it again. It's called Motional. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I'm always dropping gems like this. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn on notification bells and follow me across all of my platforms. Subscribe to the future of transportation. That's where we're bringing you here. Now, Motional is a platform, and they offer similar self-driving tech, as well as like Waymo. But what I like about Motional, what is the they have the driverless ed. And back in my day, and I'm always dating myself, back in my day in the 90s, late 96, class of 96 to be exact, um, I did driver's ed at my high school. After school, there was simulation, and then we, actually drove in a car. But it was a few weeks of driver's ed, and that's what we called it, driver's ed. Well, in the self-driving world, in the driverless world, there's a tool out there where you can learn about driverless education and get your driverless education. And they shortened it for driverless ed, just like driver's ed. And so basically what this is it's a series of chapters that you can read. It's free. You can just go right to this website, and we'll drop the link in the comments. But it's a series of chapters where you can learn and understand autonomous vehicles and the technology behind them, but also their benefits that they bring to the roadways from a safety perspective, from a greener perspective, a more sustainable perspective. And so these chapters, they teach you about autonomous vehicles, everything from the tech that drives them to the safety practices, and then to your rider experience, your experience as a rider. So I will ensure that I share the link to this in the comments, in the description box, so that you can tap in and learn about the driverless experience. It may not be in your city right now. It may not be in your city right now, but I guarantee you it will be soon. It will be soon. So, chapter 1 is why driverless vehicles. In that chapter, they're talking about exactly what a driverless vehicle is, what a robo taxi is. These are all terminologies and things that we have not heard, things that my parents have not heard, my grandparents never heard about. It is the new wave of the future. And so, the key is learn it or be left behind. Those are the options. Those are the options. Because if you don't learn it, your kids are going to learn it. So it's important that you know this terminology so that you can understand what the kids are talking about. And so they tell you what a robo taxi is. A robo taxi is this. It's a taxi that drives itself. That's essentially what it is. It's a taxi that drives itself. You can, instead of hailing the taxi and waving, hey, come on over here for the taxi, you do it on an app. You do it on your phone. And so I love this platform because they share the difference between ADAS and AVs. ADAS is that advanced driver systems. I've talked about that many times on the show. ADAS is that driver assist. We're seeing more and more cars with ADAS in them. It's the blinking or the notification that you get on your side mirrors that says, hey, somebody's in your blind spot. It's I never forget, my team and I were driving up to a conference in Louisville, Kentucky, and I took the first shift. We were in like a 7 or 8 passenger van. I took the first shift. It was raining really hard, and we were going up through East Texas, and it was raining real hard. And I guess I was kind of like going out of my lane, and it kept bringing me back into my lane, and I was going out and it would bring me back. That's driver assistance. That's what that is. And from a driver assistance perspective, we're seeing more and more cars. The semi trucks have them to help you with blind spots, but it's a safety feature. It's a safety feature that we're seeing more and more added into the vehicles that are out today. So ensure that you're learning these tools and learning the terminology that's being used in some of these cars. So the Motional, I want you to make sure that you are checking out this website. Go learn about the driverless ed. Go learn about autonomous vehicles. Get your driverless ed. It's not a certification. You're just going to learn about it and understand more about it. So welcome to Driverless Ed with Motional. Make sure you check it out. Now, when we come back, I'm going to wrap up today's show with the learning lane. The learning lane is a place where I drop gems when it comes to actionable tips, when it comes to tools, when it comes to things that you can put in your toolbox to help you excel and elevate and be on another level and set yourself apart from everybody else. I'll be right back and I'll share some gems with you.
When it comes to autonomous trucks entering the trucking and transportation industry, up until now, you've only heard bits and pieces, news here, news there. There's been no centralized place for you to learn about autonomous trucks. Join me every Wednesday and Thursday and Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time as I share information, news, and education on how you can stay prepared for autonomous trucks and autonomy entering the trucking and transportation industry.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Look, I'm Jerri, and I am the host of Navigating the Future of Trucking and Transportation. If you do not already subscribe to the channel, if you're not already connected with me across all of my platforms, make sure you connect with me. They're right here. They're right here. Thank you. A special thank you to my production team. Look, they are the ones behind the scenes that make all of this greatness happen with the show. They are so amazing. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you to Sarah's team. They do a great job. I also want to say hello to all of my friends and family over on the TikTok. The TikTok, they run up the likes. Hello, Eve. Hello, Luke Ken. Luke Ken has been running the likes up over there. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. If you don't follow me on TikTok, look, let me tell you, they get the before and they get the after, right? TikTok gets the before and the after because I'm on with them live maybe about 15 minutes before the show. So they get to see me and the team talking. And then maybe 10 minutes after the show, they get to see the behind the scenes. They get to see the breaks and all the things. So hello to TikTok. Those are my friends, my peeps over there. Again, make sure you are connected with me across all of my platforms. I am here every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday so that I can continue to develop and educate and share this amazing information. As you saw, we have guests that come on the show periodically to talk about the great things that they're doing, but also how and you can learn to elevate yourself, to take your career, your business, whatever it is, to a whole new level. And I'm going to drop a gem and a tip that I want you to utilize. I want you to take action on this tip that I'm sharing in the learning lane. This is probably my favorite part of the show, but it's where I can share gems and share information that you can use. And the one thing that I want to share today, it's called digital footprint. Your digital footprint is your online presence. The online presence is what people see about you, what people learn about you. Everyone has a digital footprint. Your digital footprint can be phenomenal. It can be great. It can establish credibility. It can build trust amongst people. And if you're a business, it can do the same thing. It can establish trust. It can build credibility. Your digital footprint is so important. And having a strong digital footprint, it is going to increase your visibility to potential employers and potential clients. And so today I'm talking to my transportation professionals. If you're a transportation professional in this industry, as we see more automation and more autonomy coming into the industry, you're going to go and seek out, and I encourage you to go and seek out those opportunities where you're able to grow and you're able to support and guide and build a company. And as a professional, it's important that once you fill out that application, once you go on that interview, you are able to set yourself apart from everyone else that's going on that interview and everyone else that has filled out an application. There may be 2 to 3 positions, and your digital footprint is what's going to help you excel and get that position that you want. And the reason why I say that is because that digital footprint, anytime you're being interviewed, anytime you're going after a new job, there's opportunity that they go Google your name, that they go look you up. I guarantee you. You may not think that that's happening, but you will be looked up. And so what they're looking at what your online presence says about you. What your online presence says about you. The things that you say and do online, it's like leaving a footprint in the sand. That footprint is going to always be there. So be cognizant of what you're saying online. Be cognizant of the what you're putting out there. Be cognizant of that. And so I want you to do a few things, and let me share those with you. When you're engaging on social media, make sure that you're participating in relevant conversations. You're sharing valuable content and valuable information, and it's not negative and it's not demeaning. You want to be positive on social media because someone is looking at you, someone is looking you up. Maintain your professional presence because potential employers, like I said, they often research candidates. They research them online before making a decision. Because on resumes, you've got your name. Sometimes there's social media handles on there. So ensure that your online profile, your online presence is professional. You have a professional image, you have a professional photo, and it's free from inappropriate content. There's some times that I go on social media, Facebook in general, and I don't know if some of the pages are hacked or what, but there's some times that I go on and I see some things and I'm like, they can never work anywhere where I work. Because if this is what you put on social media, just imagine what you would do in a place of business. So make sure that you don't have inappropriate content. Make sure that your page is professional. Make sure that it reflects the image that you want others to have of you. And so here's another thing when it's important from a digital footprint perspective. Professional development. Engage in online industry content. LinkedIn is for professionals. LinkedIn is where professionals go to learn more about what you do, who you are, and your personal brand. It doesn't matter that you don't have a business. You still need to have a personal brand because it helps to build and helps that employer and that company that you're going to work for, it helps them learn more about you. And the individual that's sitting right next to you at the interview, they may not have a professional image. They may not have built their personal brand. They may not be credible. They may not have shown their expertise, but you will have done that. You will have done that because you're here. And you may not have never thought about that you needed this. But in a digital age, in an era where things are changing so quickly with automation and autonomy and artificial intelligence, you need a digital footprint. And so having a well-managed digital footprint, it can open doors to career advancement and new opportunities that you never thought were out there. So I want you to take the time today to build your digital footprint, to ensure that you have a professional, personal brand that outshines everyone else. Now, I have a ebook that I want you to check out, and it's got a lot of tips and a lot of things that you can do to build your digital footprint. I'll drop the link in the description box. Now, if you're a business, I have one for you as well, because you may have found me through my digital footprint somewhere across the World Wide Web or in the social media streets. You may have found me because of my digital footprint and the work that I have put in. And that's exactly how your customers will find you. So it's important that your digital footprint, your digital presence, your digital image is positive and it says exactly what you want it to say when a potential employer or a potential client looks for you. That is how you get discovered. I want to thank you guys so much for your time today. Thank you for being here. Make sure if you have not already subscribed, if you are not already connected with me across all of my platforms, make sure that you connect with me. Turn on notifications so that you can get notified every single time I go live. I'm here every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, sharing news and tips and information that will help you excel and exceed the expectations in the future of trucking and transportation. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.